Yeah, just keep going.
Well, it's in four, so just don't lose track of the fours.
Okay.
And if we get off, we'll leave it to close and restart. No, not restart. 24. Had a good finish.
Rather fast.
Well, I like that. One, two, ready, go. Is that the one where you have two and I have one? Is that the one where you have two last notes and I have one? Where is that? That's
Same one we had on the last time we did it. It was a weird ending.
sure.
Every time.
Yeah, he has two half notes. I have one.
Star
Weird.
Picked up my Star Spangled
Star Spangled Banner.
Oh,
Are we doing what? We're just gonna give her the first pitch.
I think we always do A flat.
So like pick up into the band.
What key do you want to use?
So so the first pitch for the thumb of
Which key?
top line.
The first one? So
E flat. A flat.
A flat. So
top line.
you just
The very
want
first
your
one.
starting pitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
So are we just doing the pick? So we're doing the little intro thing.
So we're doing this one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but we were trying the first one on the page.
A flat concert.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Echo?
Echo.
It's like singing in the rain. What key?
E flat.
I think we played in that pit together.
Yeah.
We showed up one and only had it one key. The singer wanted it something different, so we transposed on site, and it was okay. But after that, Scott went home. He's like, it's easy enough to just echo, transpose.
Yeah.
So now we have it at two snares. Key 16. Oh wait, that's quarter notes.
Carol,
I
you're
had these out once. They could do it.
Someone was thirsty, huh?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Carol.
Coming back immediately with your checks.
Carol, can I introduce you to Kenan?
Kenan,
Carol.
very nice meeting you.
Kenan is going to be your primary contact. So I'm withdrawing from
Excuse
that.
me?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
He is better than me.
No, I'm not gonna. That just doesn't work for me. I'm sorry.
I like you.
So
I like that answer. Yeah.
the problem is
Like,
I'm gone
I'm
for
gonna do contacts, but I'm do the soul contact. I'm not. Thanks, you guys. I'll be back in a second.
Here we go. Oh, gotcha.
Must be someone that knows Marcia. All right, Ken Zone. Ken Zone. Ken Zone. A five.
All five.
A five.
Can't zone.
All five of us.
Cancel. Can't zone.
You can't zone. What's a five?
And we will do the repeat. It's when you go like this and you two beat.
We
A
will
five.
do the repeat.
Okay, yes, repeat.
Yes, repeat. Yes, repeat.
Unless you're like standing there at the entrance ready to go and then have pomp and circumstance repeat. And I'll do the first 93 and
This is the one I was missing 3 bars.
Yes.
So I can write that.
I like how you wrote those in.
Do you like it? Like, what are these two? They're too close together.
and we'll probably hand it off multiple times through the. Okay, so I'll try to do whatever key you get from him next.
Yeah, but I went ahead and played the half note.
Okay.
Get pumped up. I didn't like folding the over. Are we on?
Get pumped up.
We will be in a minute. I'm gonna play the second part of this thing. I played the wrong part.
You said
How do you something?
I just folded the first one. I thought something was missing.
I'm supposed to be thumping with
Yeah,
you guys.
I thought something was missing. And then you start playing
Oh, the melody?
the melody, and it sounded good when there was two melodies.
Yeah.
Hand getting tired?
What does that do?
Just takes the pressure off the
Stress?
hand.
Does it?
Yeah, you usually play with it, don't you? No? Sometimes I will rehearsal off plan. If it's longer. Or if I'm, from practicing.
That's probably
full time.
So no God bless America.
No God bless America.
We're just
We
gonna
go
start
real
yes,
blessing
the Star Spangled Banner
And we're doing
in A flat concert. That's what Dr. Lewick sings it in. It's A flat. We doing another one?
The first one is ready.
Amor, even though we've already done it. Let's just do it one more time.
The which one?
Amor.
Exactly what once.
Yeah, we'll just do one time. The Amor.
On a more?
Did we just do it?
That was the very first one. Very beginning. Okay.
One time. One time. No repeat. One, two, ready?
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Colorado State University on this wonderful December afternoon. Will the audience please stand? Ms. Sarah Louise Peplow will sing the national anthem. Please join in the singing if you wish.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Good afternoon on this snowy Colorado afternoon. My name is David McLean, and I serve as the Dean of the Scott College of Engineering. On behalf of the Colorado State University Administration, the Board of Governors, and the faculty and staff, I welcome you to this commencement ceremony for the Fall 2016 Scott College of Engineering graduating class. Today we celebrate the accomplishments of our students who have completed the requirements for the baccalaureate degree in engineering. Please join me in a round of applause in congratulating these students on this happy occasion. Now I would like to introduce some members of the platform party. Would each of you briefly stand when I call your name, and please hold the applause until I'm finished with introducing all of the members. Ms. Susan Benzel, Program Manager, Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. Dr. David Dandy, Department Head, Chemical and Biological Engineering. Miss Melissa James, engineering intern, 5 Smooth Stones Restoration. Dr. Susan James, department head, mechanical engineering. Miss Lynn Johnson, vice president, university operations. Dr. Kevin Lear, associate director, School of Biomedical Engineering. Dr. Anthony Marchesi, associate dean, academic and student affairs. Dr. Carmen Minoni, faculty member, Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. Dr. Don Michaels, director, University of Honors of the university's honors program. Ms. Mary Ontiveros, vice president for diversity. Dr. Steve Schaefer, professor of practice, mechanical engineering. Dr. Charles Shackelford, department head, civil and environmental engineering. Please join me in welcoming the stage party. I'd like to now ask Dr. Anthony Marchesi to come to the podium.
Thank you, Dean McLean. I would like to recognize our honorary society members. Tau Beta Pi is the National Honor Society representing the entire engineering profession. It was founded in 1885 to recognize students who possess superior scholarship and exemplary character. Other engineering honor societies recognize outstanding students in the individual majors. These include Omega Chi Epsilon for chemical and biological engineering, Chi Epsilon in civil engineering, Eta Kappa Nu in electrical and computer engineering, and Pi Tau Sigma in mechanical engineering. Will the graduates who are members of these honor societies please stand and be recognized? Congratulations and best wishes to you. As a land-grant institution, Colorado State University takes special pride in our role in providing access and educating students who are the first in their family to earn a university degree. I ask that all of our graduates who are first-generation college students please stand and be recognized.
Now we recognize our students who have earned the distinction of University Honors Program Scholar. To become a University Honors Program Scholar, a student completes an integrated program of studies which includes 4 honors seminars, 2 honors courses in the major, and an honors thesis, while achieving at least a 3.5 cumulative grade point average. Will the following students please stand and remain standing when I call your name, and I ask the audience to hold the applause? Lucas Ginter, Chemical and Biological Engineering. Gabrielle Pejak, Chemical and Biological Engineering. Caroline Michael, Environmental Engineering. Let's congratulate these students on their accomplishments.
I'm grateful to have Susan Benzel here as our commencement speaker. Susan has worked with Hewlett-Packard and Hewlett-Packard Enterprise, or HPE, for over 28 years, and she is currently the execution program manager for the machine, HPE's first proof point of a new architecture called memory-driven computing. The machine will reinvent the fundamental architecture of computers to enable a quantum leap in performance and efficiency, lower costs, and improved security. Susan has had the unique opportunity to work in almost every aspect of HP's product development, including marketing, support, training, certification, documentation, business development, and research and development program management. She's had the privilege of working with HPE's top customers and has helped many business units develop their value proposition and future direction. Susan earned her Bachelor of Science degree in electrical engineering from Colorado State University. She lives here in Fort Collins with her wonderful husband, Randy, and their two amazing children, Marcus and Miranda. All four in the family are proud CSU graduates. Susan, will you please come to the stage?
Thank you. University and college administrators, faculty and staff, friends and family, and of course graduates, thank you so much for letting me be here today and share in your special moment. Never underestimate what an incredible achievement this is for the class of 2016 to receive your college degree. This truly is a wonderful accomplishment, and in addition to being new college graduates, you get the distinction of being the very first class to graduate from the now newly renamed Walter Scott Jr. College of Engineering. So you get that cool distinction you always get to carry with you. 28 years ago, as was alluded to, I sat where you're sitting right now about to get my degree in electrical engineering. And when I was asked to give this speech today, I was very honored and I was very humbled to come and do this. I immediately started keeping a file of notes on my computer, as you can imagine, of what kind of things do I want to say to the students today. And as I started to do my research into commencement addresses, I came across a very interesting fact that statistics show you're not going to remember this speech. I wonder, you're probably just a little bit excited right now. You're not even going to remember if I'm male or female at the end of this. I blame the fact they made us all dress alike. So I really started doing a little more research, thinking, I'd really like to at least stand up here and say something, hopefully, that you'll find useful as you go forward to your next chapter. And, as I did some research, famous actors would come and give speeches about movies they'd been in. And, of course, presidents would come and give talks about politics and history and things like this. So I thought, wow, well, I'm not an actor or a president, obviously. And so what does a 50-year-old woman with 2 kids and a husband and an ornery 9-year-old black lab and an 11-year-old SUV and a 28-year career in high tech come talk about that you would actually be interested in hearing about? And the answer was obvious. I had to come and talk with you about kindergarten. And very specifically, I want to talk with you about telling stories, holding hands, and having fun. And those might not seem likely candidates to talk with you about as you graduate, but let me explain a little bit more. The reason I start with storytelling is there's actually a lot of science behind the power of storytelling. When students like yourselves sit and hear a lecture, only 5% of them will remember the statistics, but 63% will remember the stories you hear. And that's true even as you go on into the working world as well. So I thought, okay, this will be a good place to start telling stories, right? Because my other option was to put up, 20 slides with 8-point font on them and give you a pop quiz when you were done. And Dr. McLean said I couldn't do that. So I said, okay, let's tell some stories and let's at least have a little bit of fun here. So I want you to really think about, as you graduate, what are your stories that you want to tell about your life and about your goals going forward? And what stories do you want to tell at work as well? Because stories are going to help you communicate better and help you connect with people. And communicating with people and connecting with people are one of the things that are going to help gauge your success, not just your technical knowledge. So I'm going to start with a story, and this is going to be a story of 2 girls, a rather short story, but the first little girl was born in Illinois in a small town, and in a town where a lot of people didn't go to college. And when she was about 8, she moved to Colorado, and her parents got divorced, and she took that really hard, and you could see that show up a bit in her schoolwork. So I contrast that with our second little girl, who was also born in a small town in Illinois and moved to Colorado when she was about the same age and parents were also divorced. But this young girl had a mother who always encouraged her children to do their best, always supported them, and insisted that they all go and at least try going to college and getting a higher level of education. So which one of these 2 do you think ended up going to CSU and getting her degree in electrical engineering? Well, the answer is a little bit of a trick because it's the same girl. And that girl is me. My mother is here today with me. The reason I tell you this story 2 different ways is it's very important to think about your stories and how you tell them and what you want the outcome to be. So as you think about going forward, think about what stories you want to tell about your personal life and in your professional life as well. because by telling some of those stories, you will definitely communicate better and connect with people better. To continue on just a little bit with my story, I did go on to graduate from CSU and to take a job with Hewlett-Packard. And after being at Hewlett-Packard for only about 4 years, decided that I wanted to work part-time. My husband and I had one child, and we wanted to have another, and I wanted to be able to spend more time with my kids, but also still pursue a degree in my field of engineering. So I had to do a little bit of work with our HR department, and I got very fortunate that our organization was about to go through a major reorganization at that time. They told us they were right-sizing, but right-sizing is code word for downsize, and some of you are going to lose your job, right? So I hesitated a bit to come out at that time saying I wanted to work part-time, but I decided to just be true to my story and tell my story, and talked with some of the managers who would still be managers in our new organization, and got very fortunate that many of us got a choice in where we got to move in this organization. And as I talked to different managers, I would tell each one of them, I want to work part-time. I would go to them and tell them my story and what I wanted to do, but that I still very much wanted to be engaged in my high-tech career. And I only found 2 managers who even flinched when I said that, so they were off my list right away. And I very fortunately got to go and work part-time for Hewlett-Packard and got to do that for 19 and a half years, which is pretty incredible, I think. During that time, I had one of my managers stop me one day and say, you know, Susan, you've been taking a lot of different jobs as you've worked here and working part-time, right? And knowing that I wanted to kind of keep my career under control so I could be with my family. But he said, you've been really doing a lot of different things. You've worked in technical support, you've worked in R&D, you've worked in documentation. By the time you want to come back full-time and really focus more time on your career, you're going to have a very diverse background that's going to allow you to really have a lot of choice in the jobs you pursue then. And that was a very interesting moment in my life because someone else was telling me my story. So stories are powerful not only as we tell them, but it's important to pay attention how other people perceive your story. Sometimes it might not be always the way you want them to, and that means you maybe may need to make a few adjustments, right? But in this case, this gentleman told me something that I really latched onto and really did work hard to have a very diverse career. And he was absolutely right. When I came back full-time about 3.5 years ago, I got an incredible opportunity to work for a storage group at Hewlett-Packard, and then got the opportunity 1.5 years ago to become the execution program manager for the machine. Now, for any of you who haven't heard of the machine, well, you did just a couple of minutes ago if you're paying attention. But if you haven't heard much about it, I'm not going to tell you all the details. I could talk forever about it. But basically, we are at Hewlett-Packard truly changing the way that computer architectures are built by putting memory at the center instead of your processing power. So when you think about this program being one of the cutting-edge technology programs that is out there today, when I got to this program, one of the things that astounded me was our chief architect, one of the smartest men that I know. Whenever he talked about the machine, he told stories. So as I sit here today and tell you to tell your stories, it's not just because it's fun and it's whimsical, although it is fun to do that, right? It's also because it is definitely a proven way to communicate and to get, again, people to relate to you, to understand you, and to really relate to an idea and pursue a goal. Right? I teach some leadership classes at Hewlett-Packard, and one of the classes we teach is in storytelling. And even the Stanford Graduate School of Business teaches a class in storytelling. So really think about it. So you're getting a little inside information here without having to go to a graduate school right now. Really think about the stories you tell, right? It truly is going to help you communicate. The second thing I wanted to tell you about was holding hands. And sometimes that's literal and sometimes that's figurative, right? But the real thing here is to remember that you are not alone, right? And no, I'm not going to sing Michael Jackson's You Are Not Alone right now. And you didn't think it was your lucky day, but my children will tell you it is your lucky day if I'm not going to sing to you. What I really wanted to tell you with that one is, I think some of the times in my career when I was the most stressed, I was not looking out enough for help. I was not looking out for that person who could be holding my hand. And again, probably more figuratively than literally. So when you find yourselves getting frustrated, whether your next step is to go on to pursue a higher level degree, to go off to a job, wherever you're going, always think about who can really help me, who can hold my hand. And remember, sometimes that help will come from places that you don't expect. when I had to go on a business trip to Germany, it's probably been almost 20 years ago now. I found myself at the airport. It had been a last-minute request to go over to Germany. And I'm there at the airport, and the thought suddenly strikes me, I don't speak German. I'm going to get there and rent a car, and I can't read the road signs. So I quickly ran into a store, and I bought a book on German, and I studied that book all the way over to Germany on the plane. Got over there, rented my car, talked to the person at the rental car counter, and figured out there was going to be 3 exits for the city I was going to, and it was about an hour-and-a-half drive. So I get down to the city I'm going to, and I get to the first exit, and yeah, that one doesn't quite look right, so I don't get off the road. And get to the second one, same thing, doesn't quite look right. And I get to the third one, and I'm like, well, it's now or never. This is my last exit for this city. So I pull off on that exit, and I quickly proceed to get lost. And my key indicator that I was lost was as I drove down what I thought was a road, all of a sudden there was a pole in the middle of it. Well, I'm not supposed to be here, definitely. This might be a bike path or something. So I quickly back up, hope no one's looking. And as I need to look at my map and pull over, if you've ever been in a small town in Germany, the roads aren't real wide, not like they are here in Fort Collins, right? So I'm pulled over, I'm half on the sidewalk, I'm half on the street, I've got my map in front of me, and all of a sudden I hear someone honking. I think, oh, I'm probably blocking someone's way, but there's no one behind me. So I look out my side window, and here's just a little gentleman on a moped, and he's pointing at my map. So I speak no German, he speaks no English. I finally roll down my window, I show him my map, and he kind of looks at it, and he goes like this at me. So I'm like, I'm so lost. What have I got to lose? This is 20 years ago. I don't have GPS. I don't have my smartphone, right? My kids will tell you I don't use my smartphone that well anyway, now that I have it. So I follow this gentleman, and after about 10 minutes, I'm following him, and pretty soon he starts going like this. And I look, and there is my hotel. So in that moment, help came from a very unexpected place. So always, again, remember, reach out for help when you're feeling stressed. Remember, it can come sometimes from an unlikely place. Sometimes I know it's hard to go to your boss and say, I don't know this, because you're thinking, gosh, I really should know this. In those times, go and tell your boss, here's what I do know, and here's the places where I'm stuck, right? There's always a way to reach out your hand for that help. The last thing I want to tell you is to have fun, even at work. And I'll let you in on a little secret. Engineers aren't always known for being the most social people. We aren't always known for being the life of the party. We might even be viewed sometimes as being a little bit nerdy, but it's okay. Nerdy is the new black, right? So it's all good. But think about it. Think about when you're having fun and when you're relaxed, how much more productive you are, right? There's actually science behind this one as well. And I won't quote a bunch of statistics because, like I said at the start, you won't remember them, right? But just remember, when you have fun, you are more relaxed. There are reasons why some of these companies like Facebook and Google, they have ping pong and video games and things to play, right? So try to encourage that atmosphere of fun as well when you are at work, right? One thing that I did when I first got to the machine is we were about to enter a new phase working on our prototypes. And we really kind of needed to rally the troops, and we needed to lighten the spirit a bit. And I went to my boss and I told her, I want to give all of the engineers Legos. She's sitting here looking at me thinking, okay, we work with some of the most intelligent researchers in the industry, and you want to give them Legos? Yes, and they're going to have machine logos, and luckily my boss is a really good sport, and she took a leap of faith, and I got custom-made Legos with our machine logo, on them, and the next time we went out to Palo Alto, I sat in this group of researchers, and I explained to them that these Legos were special because they had machine logos on them. And for years, people have built architectures the same, and they've used basic building blocks of processors, right? Memory, of their fabric, their networking interconnect, right? But we had some special pieces this time, and they were going to connect together a little bit differently than they had in the past. And that was okay. And as we went along, we would learn things about how they connected together and things we hadn't known in the past, right? And so I showed them building a little model out of my Legos, and they loved it. And I think my boss breathed a big sigh of relief that it went over well. But here I sit in this room of PhD researchers who are incredibly intelligent, and to give them Legos to play with, they absolutely loved it, right? So there's always room for some fun in your work environment. As I finish up here, I want to return to the thought of stories one more time. If you're sitting here thinking, okay, that's all great, Susan, but I'm not quite sure, how should I start my story? Pick me. I know how your story starts. Okay? It starts on December 17th, 2016, when you graduated from CSU with a degree in engineering. Right? Did you know that 93%, I know you're not going to remember that statistic, I got to remind myself that, but 93% of the graduates from CSU go on to either accept an offer for employment or an offer to get an advanced degree within 90 days of graduating. You are graduating from a place that has truly prepared you well to go out and to succeed. So never, ever forget that. There is one story out there right now that I want you to purposely not listen to, though. And that's the story that I constantly hear about millennials. I don't want you to believe everything you hear. And one thing I want to read to you is a quote from a young lady I work with who's 22, who gave me this quote about 2 months ago, and I thought, I've got to use this today. The quote is, "The children now love luxury. They have bad manners, contempt for authority. They show disrespect for elders and love chatter in place of exercise. Children are now tyrants, not the servants of their households. They no longer rise when elders enter the room. They contradict their parents, chatter before company," and it goes on. To me, that does sound like something perhaps my generation might say about millennials right now, based on some of the things I read. This is actually, though, a quote from Socrates over 2,500 years ago. And the reason I read it to you is to show you that for over 2,000 years, one generation has thought the next is maybe a little bit irresponsible and maybe a little bit lazy. Well, of course, you're not going to act like a bunch of 40 and 50-year-olds. I would certainly hope not, right? So don't listen to those messages that you hear about millennials. Instead, think about your own story. Think about what you want it to be. Think about the incredible start you've gotten here at CSU. Because I'll tell you, if a little girl who was born in a small town in Illinois, where a lot of the population did not go to college, can now be the execution program manager for the machine, one of the most cutting-edge pieces of technology out there, if I can do that, all made possible by my degree from Colorado State University in engineering, I know you all can go off and do whatever you want to do. Just go out and tell your stories with pride and humility, hold hands, and have fun. Congratulations again.
Well, that's going to be a hard act to follow. But fortunately, we're on to one of the most important parts of the ceremony. It is now my great pleasure to present the candidates for the baccalaureate degree for all engineering majors. All engineering students, please rise. Dean McLean, it is my pleasure to present to you these students who have completed all the requirements established by the various majors in the Scott College of Engineering for the bachelor's degree. The Faculty Council has recommended to the Board of Governors that these students receive their bachelor's degree at this time.
This is the moment that you have worked hard and dreamed about, and thus it is with great pleasure that I offer you these words. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors of the Colorado State University System, I hereby confer the bachelor's degree on each of you, together with the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and appertaining thereunto.
Students, please be seated. We will now award diplomas individually to the members of the graduating class. I would like to ask Dean McLean and the department heads to come forward and shake hands with the graduating seniors as they accept their diplomas. As a benefit to the students and their families, a photographer will take pictures of the graduates as they cross the stage. Graduates, please pause for your photo as you shake hands with your department head. A final photo will be taken after you leave the stage. And now, will the graduates from all engineering majors please prepare to accept your diplomas?
The academic honor guidelines for students who are graduating with distinction are as follows. Summa cum laude designates approximately the top 1% of graduates in the university. Magna cum laude designates approximately the next 3% of graduates in the university. Cum laude designates approximately the next 6% of the graduates in the university. Will the graduates please come forward? Marshall Jensen Raleigh, Bachelor of Science, Biomedical Engineering, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. And now our electrical and computer engineers. Lucas Peter Gintner, Bachelor of Science, Chemical and Biological Engineers. Lucas Peter Gintner, Bachelor of Science, Chemical and Biological Engineering. Gabrielle Caroline Pajak, Bachelor of Science, Chemical and Biomedical and Chemical Engineering with honors magna cum laude. Michael Thomas Stein, Bachelor of Science, Chemical and Biological Engineering. Brian Robert Connell, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. And for our other civil engineers, Athan Garcia, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Richard Sacco Greeley, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Jessica Jo McCallum, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. John Jacob O'Neill, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Thank you. Rudy Parks, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Darren Robert Peterson, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. And what's your third name, Sadre? Satre, okay. Joseph Vincent Satriana, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Caitlin Marie Smith, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Tanner Joseph Smith, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Ian Christopher Swenson, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Jacob D. Thill, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Jason Thomas Trojan, Bachelor of Science, Civil Engineering. Now for our environmental engineers, Dawood S. Alamir, Bachelor of Science, Environmental Engineering. Noah Michael Albrecht, Bachelor of Science, Environmental Engineering. Alyssa Loren Elizabeth Brewer, Bachelor of Science, Environmental Engineering. Brianna Lynn Corsi, Bachelor of Science, Environmental Engineering. Noelle Christine Fillo, Bachelor of Science, Environmental Engineering. Vance Joseph Holtzman, Bachelor of Science, Environmental Engineering. Shannon Renee McQueen, Bachelor of Science, Environmental Engineering. Caroline Lee Michael, Bachelor of Science, Environmental Engineering. Garrett Seth Daniel Pickett, Bachelor of Science, Environmental Engineering. Forrest Ryan Schaefer, Bachelor of Science, Environmental Engineering. Sean Lance Simpson, Bachelor of Science, Environmental Engineering. And now for our electrical and computer engineers. Garrett Matthew Bischoff, Bachelor of Science, Electrical Engineering. Good, well done. Erica Elsie Bratchen, Bachelor of Science, Electrical Engineering. Jacob Lee Bryant, Bachelor of Science, Computer Engineering. Joshua Jacob Cogdill, Bachelor of Science, Computer Engineering. Congratulations. Daniel Edward Gold, Bachelor of Science, Computer Engineering, cum laude. Ryan James Green, Bachelor of Science, Electrical Engineering. Caitlin Paige Harada, Bachelor of Science, Electrical Engineering. Ryan Gregory Lanning, Bachelor of Science, Electrical Engineering. Alexander Dean Larson, Bachelor of Science, Electrical Engineering. Jake Edward Lord, Bachelor of Science, Computer Engineering. Edward Everett Oakvath III, Bachelor of Science, Computer Engineering. Go ahead. Kyle Preston Van Cleve, Bachelor of Science, Computer Engineering. Chao Huang, Master of Science, Electrical Engineering. And now for engineering science, Zachary Lee Robertson, Bachelor of Science, Engineering Science. Erica Lynn Wilson, Bachelor of Science, Engineering Science and International Studies. And now for our mechanical engineers. Adam G. Hartman, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Welcome. Jace Nathaniel Horak, Bachelor of Science, Mechanical Engineering. Sravani Ba Anchate, Master of Science, Electrical and Computer Engineering. This concludes the awarding of diplomas.
Thank you, Ms. Beal. Engineering graduates of fall 2016, let me add my congratulations to that of the others who have spoken before me. Today represents an important milestone in your life. Much hard work and many long hours went into achieving this goal, and you should be proud of your accomplishments. Higher education continues as a powerful tool to better your own life, those of others around you, and society as a whole. A degree is one of the few things that once earned can never be taken away. Your intellect and analytical skills, your ability to reason, your judgment are all enhanced because of the education you've received at CSU. Indeed, this is a day to celebrate. I ask you to recall your first days on campus. For many, this was an exciting and I'm sure at times overwhelming experience. But here you are at the end of that journey. I think all of you will agree that this journey and your success here today would not have been possible without the support of family, friends, and members of our staff and faculty. I encourage you to take time on this day of celebration to thank those special individuals who have helped you achieve this amazing success. As I reflect on the many amazing engineering alumni from CSU that I've had the privilege to meet, I'm struck by two common characteristics. The first is their passion to make our world a better place, and the second is the incredible impacts they've been able to achieve. I think of Walter Scott, civil engineering alumnus, leader of one of the world's largest construction companies with projects all around the globe. Mr. Scott recently made the largest gift ever to CSU, $53 million, as an investment to support excellence by our students, our faculty, and our academic programs. I think of Tina Larson, chemical engineering alumni, leading efforts to develop the next generation of antibiotics to fight increasingly drug-resistant infections. I think of Simon Prakash, mechanical engineering alumnus, who was the hardware leader on the Apple iPhone and later on Google Glass, and now leads a biomedical startup in the Bay Area. And we had the good fortune to hear from Susan Benzel, electrical engineering alumni, and an innovation leader in HP, reinventing the way we do computing. And now you, the newest CSU engineering grads, and the first from the newly named Scott College of Engineering. We're all very proud of you, and I look forward to seeing the great things that you all are going to accomplish. Today's diploma is not the end of your journey, but it's a really big milestone. The degree that each of you has earned here today is a fulfillment of the vision of Justin Morrill, working with Abraham Lincoln, who over 150 years ago penned the act that established land-grant universities for the purpose of providing access to an excellent education and success for those with the tools and the desire to make a difference in society, no matter their economic background or where they came from. You have not just the ability, but also the responsibility to make our world a better place. Lead by example, and you will bring others along with you. Again, my best wishes and hearty congratulations to you all. Go Rams! I would like to now ask Ms. Melissa James to the podium.
Hello, class of 2016. Congratulations, you did it. Last year I sat in those seats, and I couldn't help but get a little sentimental. If you have not been doing so all semester leading up to this point, I would like you all to take a quick trip down memory lane. Think back on the first time you stepped foot onto campus, the first engineering class you had. the first friends you made, the first all-nighter you pulled, and the first few classes that you miraculously passed. Let's be honest, there were definitely a few of those. Think back on the person you were during those beginning days, and take time to reflect how you have changed and evolved over the years. College is a time of discovery, growth, and learning. It is about pushing yourself to overcome challenges you never thought you could and building a foundation for your future. Here you all are at the completion of your plus or minus 4 to 5 years here at CSU with endless possibilities awaiting you. For some, you will be heading back to school to pursue a higher degree of education. For others, perhaps a full-time career, or maybe even a more non-conventional trail. Wherever your path leads you, I hope that you continue to grow and learn with each new day and each new experience. I encourage you to every once in a while, take some time to look back on how far you have come. It is through that reflection that you can truly admire your own personal strength and accomplishments. The road ahead may not always be easy, but you have already proven that you can overcome any bumps along the way. As you continue to forge your path into the future, remember that anything is possible with enough determination, hard work, and dedication. Congratulations again, and welcome to the ranks of Colorado State University Scott College of Engineering alumni. Go Rams!
I'd like to recognize some additional people here. Would the faculty and staff please stand? Please join me in recognizing the significant contributions to the graduate students and undergraduate students here in the College of Engineering. Please be seated. I would like to also ask now that the parents, the spouses, the partners, spouses-to-be, family, and friends of the graduates please stand. And I ask you, the graduates, to please recognize these individuals. So will you please stand? Thank you. Let us all rise now and join in singing the Alma Mater. The words to the Alma Mater are on page 1 of your program.
Hail to thee, our alma mater, Colorado State. Memories are everlasting in this place so great. May thy green and gold unite us, loyal ever be. Colorado State, our alma mater, hail, all hail to thee.
Thank you. Please be seated. On behalf of our faculty, staff, and students, I thank the parents, families, friends, and guests for participating in this most gratifying celebration. Please remain seated while the graduates, faculty, and platform group depart. Thank you again for joining us. Have a safe trip back home. And graduates, congratulations again.
Santa with him.